Hi, this is Kim with Mom's Creative Moments. Welcome back to my channel. Oh my gosh, October has flown by. I cannot believe that tomorrow is Halloween. And because tomorrow is Halloween, I thought it would be fun to share with you a Halloween layout. This is not necessarily a layout using the new Boo-Yah collection. This is it's a monster layout. It's a monster layout, I hope. We'll see how it comes together. I haven't done this one before, but let's go ahead and take a look at my workspace and we'll get started creating our monster. All right, so this is my workspace for today. In addition to this, we are going to also be using the 12-inch trimmer and some decorative blades. So I'll run through this really quickly with you so that you can gather these things. So I have permanent and repositionable adhesive, as I usually do. I'm going to scoot those over there because we won't need them for a little bit. I have the Creative Memories corner rounder, and I have the Creative Memories circle maker. I have the small and the medium template for the custom cutting system. I have the, which one is this? Okay, so I believe this is the small, we'd call this one the small rectangle of the 3 rectangular possibilities for templates. I have the heart with the egg in the center, and I have the diamond. Okay, so we're going to use all of those as we put this guy together. I'm going to use mainly the green and the blue blades from the custom cutting system along with these templates. And then in addition to the templates, we have paper. So I have 2 pieces of black cardstock, 2 pieces of beige cardstock. I have some cardstock that came out in 2020 that was called Wild Oats. And you can really see a lot of filaments in this, and I just love the texture that it brings. So I only have a little bit left of that, so I'm gonna see how much of it I need to use, but we'll probably use a lot of it today. And then I have some remnants of black shimmer and white shimmer that we're going to use as well. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to remove the beige pieces. Those are going to be our base pieces. So I'm going to put those up here and get them out of the way. I'm going to remove the black pieces to the side for just a second, and we'll get to those in a minute. And I'm going to remove the wild oats for just a second as well. We will definitely get back to those. Okay, so just setting those aside. We're going to start with these, and I'm going to start with my custom cutting system. We're going to build the eyes first of all, and this may be a crazy place to start, but I just thought it would be a good way to get this going. Okay, so we're going to use the medium circle, and we're going to cut 2 medium circles using the green blade, and I'm just going to cut these out of black shimmer paper. This is just so that the eyes really draw our attention. So So 2 black circles. Okay, then we're going to cut with the same template. We're going to grab our blue blade and we're going to cut 2 out of the white shimmer. And I'm gonna see if I can do that up here in this space. Maybe it might not work though. Yeah, it's too big. Too big to get two of them out of that space right there, but that's okay. Okay, so that eye is going to go there. We'll put another one right here next to it. That eyeball will go right there. All right, and then we're going to come back to the black shimmer again with the small circle template and the blue blade. And we're going to cut two. So I guess I didn't need that other remnant, but that's okay. Scrap, remnant, you could call it whatever you want to call it. Okay, so now we have there are our eyes, and we're going to, I'm going to just set these out of the way. I'm going to grab my repositionable adhesive and I'm going to just assemble these really quickly. And just know that when you are putting these together, by using the repositionable adhesive, if you need to, you can adjust them. So that's the reason why I grabbed that instead of the permanent adhesive. All right, so we're gonna put that down there. Put that down there like so. All right, so we're gonna just set those eyes aside, and then we can get to some other things here. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do, and I'm gonna remove these circles, okay, and get those out of the way, and set those just up there. We are going to take our black cardstock, and with the black cardstock, we're gonna do a big circle. We're going to take our circle maker, move the line to as large as we can make it. Okay, then we're going to find the center of our cardstock. And if you've never done this before, let me just walk you through this real quick. Grab a Post-it note. A 3-inch Post-it note works the best. Lining my cardstock up on my mat. I'm going to use my zero centering ruler and a pencil or a pen, doesn't really matter. I'm going to look for 6 inches. So 6 inches here is going to be my 17-inch mark, which is that line right there. So I'm just going to line up my ruler there. So that's the center vertically, and my center this direction is going to be right here at the 1-inch mark, or the line that's marked with a 1. Okay, so then I'm going to mark the center. So that's the very center of my page. Now I'm going to find 1 1/4 inch. I'm going to line up the 0 line on that vertical line that I made right here, and I'm going to line up the 1 1/4 inch mark, 1 1/4 inch from the baseline or the base edge of my ruler. Okay, so that's going to go there. So the 1 1/4 inch mark goes on my horizontal line, and my 0 center line is on my vertical line. And I'm just going to draw a line across there. Okay. Now, this is important because if I need to go back and adjust the size of my circle, or if I need to go back and trim my circle with this, then I need to know where the middle is, and I need to be able to put this back on my paper. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the front of the circle cutter, we're going to line it up with this lower line, the one we measured 1 1/4 inches to. I'm going to take the center line on the bubble, which is where the pivot mark is going to line up, and I'm going to place that. I'm going to line the pivot line up with my vertical line and the front of my circle maker with my horizontal line, and then I'm going to cut my circle. That allows me to get the largest circle possible out of my 12 by 12 piece of paper. Okay, so now we've got possibly the head for our mummy. Now, I don't know if I want my mummy's head to be quite that big. I'm just trying to decide. I think actually it might be better if it was just a little bit smaller. And that's why I wanted to make sure I put this on here so that I could adjust it. So if I made it just a little bit smaller, how much smaller would I want it to be? Maybe a 9-inch circle. 9 inches would give me 4.5 inches on either side of the center line, which would be roughly there. I don't think I want it quite that small. Let's do a 10-inch circle. So I'm going to just adjust this back to 10 inches. And we're going to cut this into a 10-inch circle instead. Sorry about that. Once I made that circle, it's just way bigger than I envisioned in my head. So come on. There. Clearly, I goofed. Alright, must have shifted because I have a little stray hair. Okay, so we're gonna just set that ring aside. Maybe we'll use it in another layout somewhere, but this is gonna be our mummy's head, and I'm gonna grab this other piece of black cardstock, and we're going to do a couple of other things with this. So I'm going to grab my trimmer, and we're going to cut 2 pieces that are 3 inches. Remove those. We're going to cut 2 pieces that are 3 inches wide. Okay. Then we're going to take these 3-inch wide pieces and we're going to cut these so that they are, we're going to start with 8 inches long, but I don't know if we may need to trim them down. 8 inches may be too long. We're going to go with 8 just for right now, and I'm going to set those 2 aside. Okay, so we're going to go with those, and then we're going to go with, let's see, I'm going to use the remainder of this piece because this is 6 inches. I'm going to make 3 6x4 mats. So I'm going to go ahead and cut 3 mats out of this remaining piece, and then the other pieces that I need to cut out of black cardstock, I'm going to just cut from remnants, from scraps. So we're going to set those up there. I'm going to save these. Those could be mats for photos. We'll see. Okay, so let me grab my black scrap bag and we'll find some other pieces that we can use. We'll use that. That'll work. Okay, so now I'm going to take these other templates and we're going to cut some other pieces here. So first I'm going to, first I'm going to cut a little egg, and the little egg is going to be cut with our blue blade, so it's going to be fairly small. We're going to do 2 of these. Okay. I think maybe I need a new blue blade because I seem to be having some issues. When I tried cutting this piece before, it didn't want to cut super easily. All right, then I'm going to cut the inside of the triangle. I'm going to cut 2 of those. Okay, so there's one. I'm not sure what my children are doing upstairs, but I think they're making dinner. So I keep hearing pots and pans rattling. Dinner would be a good option. All right, there's my second one of this, so we're going to set that aside. We don't need that anymore. Then I need this one, and we're going to turn it so that we can get 2 pieces of this. And this one I'm going to use the blue blade for as well. So, because we don't need a very large piece, we just want it to be a little bit. We're going to do some trimming on this piece. So, okay. All right, so that's all we need from there. Now, these 2 pieces, we are going to cut just a second, let me fix this. Come on, work with me here. Okay, because that was going to bug me. All right, so now these 2 pieces are just cut roughly. You can stack them up against each other, and then what we're going to do is we're going to cut about 1/2 inch off the end. Okay, then we're going to take the corner rounder and we're going to round. Of course, it's black and now it's under the table. There it is. All right. I'm only going to round one of the corners because I'm going to do some sort of freehand cutting. Okay, so I'm going to kind of start in the center. I'm going to cut down about 1/4 inch. Then I'm going to come over here about another in the middle and cut down another 1/4 of an inch, and come over here and cut down another 1/4 of an inch. Okay, that's going to help be a guide for me. And then I'm going to start about 1/4 of an inch from the corner. I'm going to make an arch as good as I can. It doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, if it's not perfect, it'll have more character, so it'll be fine. Okay, so I'm just making arches to the base of those 1/4 inch cuts. All right, so that it looks like that. Basically, you're making knuckles. So if that helps you to be able to visualize better. So I'm going to do the same thing on this piece. I'm going to cut down about 1/4 of an inch in the center, just eyeballing it. The center and the center. And then I'm going to start on this side, and I'm going to go ahead and round to that cut. Then I'm going to do the same thing here, round to the center cut. It's kind of hard to see on the black paper, so if you can't see yours, I'm sorry. I feel your pain. All right, so there's the second one, okay? All right, so this is going to go in the trash. Now we should have most of our pieces, but we're going to take these pieces and we're going to round just one end. So I'm going to round this corner, I'm going to round this corner, okay? Same thing on this one. We're going to round this corner and we're going to round this corner, okay? Now, we've got all of those pieces. Now what we need to do is we need some wrappings. Okay, so we're going to take our trimmer and we're going to select one of the blades back here, something that looks irregular so that it will look torn. I'm going to go with Victorian because the Victorian and the decal to me look very similar, but the Victorian is more pronounced. And so I'm going to go with Victorian. And we're going to swap out the straight blade for Victorian. I'm going to move those over there so they're not bumping into things. I'm going to grab my Wild Oats paper and I'm going to make several strips of Wild Oats paper. Okay, so I'm going to put this decorative edge right along the straight edge of my paper. Okay, we're going to toss that. Then I'm going to make my strips roughly 1.5 inches wide. Okay, and I'm just going to make a bunch of strips because how you put these on is pretty much going to determine how many of them you need. Oops, that needs to be 1.5 inches. And so it'll be different for each of us how many strips we need. And here's where you don't have to be like super painstakingly accurate. These are the wraps that are going to go on your mummy. So oops, I need to put an edge on this one. So let's do that. Wouldn't it be so fun to make a page like this for your grandkids or for your older kids? If you have kids that are still going trick-or-treating or going to Halloween parties or that kind of thing. It'd be so fun. This one's going to be a little bit short, but I'm going to turn it around and put an edge on it anyway. Not quite as wide as the others, but that's all right. Okay, let's go with that, and then we'll see if we need more. We will likely need more, but we're going to just start with that. All right. And I'm going to start with, I'm going to just move these pieces out just a little bit. I'm going to start with the head, okay? Because we can kind of, if we don't have enough, we can, you know, make a new plan for the, I'll make my eyeballs go cross-eyed. We can make a new plan for how to cover the arms if we need to, but it'll be harder to do that if we run out for the head. So we're going to start with the head. All right, so I'm going to use my repositionable adhesive. Just kind of place that liberally across. I'm going to start like that, okay? We're gonna place this in such a way that, hold on a second, I'm gonna move this just slightly. This is why repositionable is grand, because you just never know what you're gonna wanna do. We're going to tuck this guy up underneath here, and we're going to make him go across this way. And I'm just going to generally cut that off, because then I can come back up here. Maybe not there, but I can layer this piece back on here. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, and it's better actually if it's not. So okay, we're going to, oh, should we angle this one? Maybe going down like that. Basically, you want to kind of form a triangle of bandages. And we're trying to cover most of the black, but not all of it. get some going this other direction. Hold on here. We did like that, and we'll cut this guy off here. This one can cover this side over here. Okay. Okay, I'm not covering up all of this on purpose, so I'm thinking though that we might need something else right in there. But let's see. Let's cover this side up over here first. All right. Now we could put one more kind of across this way. Is that what we want to do? Trying to think, where are the eyes gonna go? I can kind of see the layers a little bit better this way. Let's set the eyes on here and see. So maybe we need we could put the eyes kind of on here like this. So maybe another one coming kind of couple right in here would be good. You think? What do you think? So this one's already got some adhesive on it. I'm gonna tuck these under. So we're gonna, or maybe we could just tuck them under this one and make it look like it goes across and underneath. It's not quite long enough. Darn, I cut it a little too short. That'll work. Like that. And then we need this one to go. Paper's jumping at me again. I'm going to put this one underneath there and underneath. Underneath there. All right. Now before we add the eyes, I'm going to flip this back over and we're going to trim off all of that extra. So I'm going to find my center again, put my circle cutter right back on there, and we're just going to go and very quickly and easily cut all that extra right off. Some of it had adhesive on it, so that's why it's kind of sticky. Come on. Oop, maybe I didn't quite cut through that one. Look, we can do it again. This system of using the sticky note is something I learned from advisor Nicole So. She figured out that this was the easiest, best way to be able to revisit your circle if you ever needed to trim once you'd made it. So there we go. So now our eyes can go on here, something like that. But we're going to be cutting this down the middle to go on our 2 pages, so don't get too excited just yet about putting your eyes on them. Those are going to probably be last. All right, so just clearing a path here for a second. We're going to set him up there so he can watch us make the rest. Now we're going to obviously need some more strips, so let's make some more strips. I'm not going to make a whole bunch more, but we're going to make a few so that we have plenty to choose from as we cover his arms and his hands. Now I'm going to make let's see. I'm going to make several of these strips a little bit smaller because they are going to need to go on fingers, which are inherently smaller. So we're just going to do, let's do 3. We're going to do 3 strips at 1 inch instead of 1.5 inches. Okay, and we can always come back and do some more if we need to. Okay, so we've got those, we've got those, we've got those, and we've got these. Let's do the arms. Okay, so the arms are going to be these larger pieces. And the arms are going to be a little bit. We're going to want to trim these afterwards again. It'll just make it that much easier. And I'm going to intentionally leave a little bit of black showing on these. So we can leave the Leave the bandages wide if we want to. That's a style for sure. I was looking at some different animations of mummies before I started this project, and I was really surprised. But a lot of them have just sort of hanging bits on the arms. So we are going to need some more of these wider pieces because I'm using all of these on this one. So maybe we don't need to trim these, I guess is the point that I'm trying to get to. Just cut them just a little bit wide. You can see how I'm cutting them just a little bit wonky, which is okay to do. And I'm not sure how long these are going to be, so we may need to come back and shorten these. We'll see how that works. Okay, so there's one arm, and I do think we're going to probably need to, I don't know, maybe we didn't need to corner around those. I had you do that, and that might not be a thing that we need to worry about. So I am sorry. This is not a layout that I've done before. I did make a plan for it, but I didn't put it together before. So, okay, so this is another 1.5 inch piece. I'm going to actually cut 3 of these just to make sure we've got plenty. Let's see if we need any more. Okay, it's coming together. It's coming together nicely. I hated to call him a monster because I like cute monsters. If you made the page from last year, you know that I like cute monsters. I don't make monsters that are ugly, because I don't like monsters that are ugly. They're scary when they're ugly, and I don't do scary very well. So how do you do Halloween? Do you do scary Halloween at your house? Do you do Halloween at all? I know some people don't do Halloween, so they turn their lights off and don't even worry about it. Or they go somewhere else, which is totally fine. If that's the way you need to do Halloween, that's totally up to you. Like I said, I don't do scary Halloween, so I probably could just leave town and no one would notice. Although we do, I think I've told you this before, we do a fun Halloween thing in our neighborhood now. We have a family that moved in who loves the Pirates of the Caribbean, and they do their whole yard up like Pirates of the Caribbean and dress up like pirates and everything. And so we're gonna cover these, but we're going to cover, oh, why is that so hard? Okay, we're going to cover them like this. So opposites. Okay, so kind of like so. So they do Pirates of the Caribbean, and a couple years ago they started providing quests for the kids in the neighborhood, which I don't know why I just turned that over. That's kind of funny. So they started providing quests for the kids in the neighborhood in that they go to this family's house first, and they receive the information about the quests for this year, and they are given a map of the houses that are participating, and then they go around and I'm just going to need to trim that. They go around and they have to perform little different little activities, like they may have to solve a riddle or solve those old riddles that we used to have to do in elementary school, where you're given a cipher and you have to figure out what the word is or what the message is that's being given or being sent. So it's a lot of fun. We've had a good time hosting that at our house, and helping out with that. That's been fun. Okay, so those are 2 hands that we are that are now covered, and then these are kind of the fist fingers that go over top. Okay, so we're going to do these in these smaller ones. I may not use any of those, but I just didn't want to toss them out just yet. Okay, so these pieces I'm going to kind of put going diagonal. Let's do these diagonal. And I'm going to come back and trim these because we want to see the definition in the fingers when all is said and done for these particular pieces. So I'm layering these quite a bit. Okay, so that one will work, and then we'll come back and trim that. We're going to use another one. We're going to end up with 1 extra, so really you only need 2 of these 1-inch strips. I'll leave a little bit of a gap on that one. All right. Now I'm just going to use my fingers for this one since we custom cut the knuckles up here. And again, they don't have to be perfect because this is meant to look like they've been wrapped. So the wrap is going to have, frayed over time. Doesn't have to be pristine. So you can make it as jagged as you want. Kind of just like that. All right. So then we are going to, I'm not going to throw all of these away because we can't forget these two little guys. Do you know what these two little guys are going to be? Have you figured that out yet? These are thumbs. Fun stuff, huh? Okay. So I'm going to kind of layer that on. Do like that. Just gonna trim. Again, just a rough trim around the outside. Doesn't have to be super accurate. There's one thumb. We've got that. Let's use a little bit of this one. And we'll just cut that. All right, we are about ready to put this guy together. So we've got all of our pieces. I'm going to get rid of all of these, especially the ones that have stuck themselves to my mat. Okay, so that's all going in the trash. Now we're going to grab these base pieces, and I'm going to put, okay, so this is the right hand, there's a thumb, here's a hand, here's the right arm, here's the left. We need to separate his face. So his face is going to go right in the middle. And so I'm going to cut this. I'm actually cutting it slightly to the right of center. So I'm putting the very edge of the circle on the 5.5 inch mark out here. And I should have cut that straight with the straight blade, and I just cut it with the decorative blade. Let's do it again. The trick with this too is we need to make sure that all the pieces that we've adhered are going to stay on the black cardstock. Take my Post-it note off the back. I don't think that's what's holding it together. I think I didn't quite cut through the black in all the spots. Okay, when you cut yours, make sure you cut all the way through, and probably using the straight blade is going to be better. I hate it when I forget to change out my blades. You people were supposed to remind me. No, I'm just kidding. What's that I used to say? I haven't said it for a long time. Whose job was it to remind me to put my straight blade back? You were probably yelling at me, weren't you? Okay. Thank you anyway. I finally got it. Okay, there we go. Now, so we're going to start with the face. I'm going to use my permanent adhesive. probably don't need quite that much adhesive, but you know, I'm just a little bit goofy that way. Okay, so I'm gonna put his head right here. We actually may need a little piece for down here, which I had forgotten about until just now. So I may need to dig some of those scraps out that I just tossed. Okay, I'm going to line up my bases so that I can make sure that his head is at the same place, like so. Then I'm gonna add a little repositionable on this piece because it's sticking up. I don't want it to stick up. So if you notice some of your wrap pieces are sticking up, you'll want to go ahead and take a second and add some repositionable adhesive to them so that they can get stuck down. Okay, now we're going to take his eyes, and I'm gonna make them kind of go cross-eyed because they're looking at the fact that they've been divided. That may seem weird, but that's okay. All right, now his arm is gonna go up here like this. We're gonna put one mat down here, one mat down here, and I was going to put a couple of different size mats over here, but I think we actually could put another 4x6 right here, which would be really lovely, wouldn't it? So let me grab some more black cardstock, and we will cut a couple more mats real quick. Okay, let's see, this is 6 inches, so perfect. So let's do another 6x4 that can go here, and we'll just do another 6x4 for over on the other side. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we'll just do the small ones over on that side. Or maybe we'll do a small one over there and a small one over here. So the idea is, this is his hand. So I'm going to need to lower this down. That's what I was worrying about, was the fact that I thought we were going to need to I'm going to put his fingers coming over the top of the photo, and his thumb would be coming over the side. Something along the lines of kind of like that. And then over here, there is this arm that goes up underneath. Scoot that over. And his hand, which kind of goes like that. So maybe this will come down a little. Maybe this will come down. Aha, okay. It's all coming to me now, okay? And we've got maybe this needs to kind of go out more so that we can see his hand. I'm having a hard time grasping things because I just got my nails redone and I don't have very many edges on them. Okay, so we're just going to kind of do these a little bit wonky. And his thumb again needs to kind of come in like that. We've got this one here, like so. Now we could add another photo in here. We could add another photo in here, which actually might be better because it would kind of balance on that side. You could certainly, if you needed more photos, you could put another photo here, you could put another photo here. You could use these areas to journal. You could use this area to journal, or, you know, something. But that's basically the finished layout without embellishments. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get this stuck down, and then we will talk about embellishments. Okay, so now we're going to just trim off the bottom of his hands, or his arms, sorry. So I'm just going to line up the edge of my cardstock with my trimmer. Get the bottom of that evened up. And we're going to do the same thing with this side. Okay. And now, let's see. We can do some letter stickers. Let's see. Could do yellow. We're gonna do I am not the best when it comes to letter stickers, guys, so let me just preface my efforts with that. We're gonna write got the inside of the A is still in there. Get out of there. I poked it out, but then it's stuck there. Do you do letter stickers for your titles? I'm not the best with these. I generally will do my titles with my Cricut for almost every page that I do. But this one's special, so. Oh my gosh, there's so many letters on these new letter sheets. But the letters are tiny, but there's so many letters, which is, you know, which is okay. You know, I would rather have small letters and have enough that I can spell lots of words than have big letters and constantly run out. Which is the problem that I had with the old letter sets when I was more of a novice scrapbooker. I used the old letter sets, and you know, if you use those, they ran out very quickly. But these, there are just so many of every letter, and especially of the vowels, which is lovely. Because you know you run out of those first. I'm intentionally making these very irregular, in case you were wondering. I feel like this layout is a bit irregular, so it's okay. We'll put this part on the mummy. So what I'm spelling is using lots of M's and Y's. That's all right. Okay, so we're gonna say, it's gonna say hi to your mummy. But we're gonna make the hi part in red polka dots because, and they're big, because this page needs some color. I think if I was to do this page again, I would recommend that we choose a different color for the background, something that will jazz it up and give it a little more pizzazz. Say hi to your mummy, and then I think we'll use a red exclamation mark for the end. Like that. All right. Now we could add some embellishing to this page if we wanted to. Pull out your favorite Halloween embellishments and add those. But I think he's cute all by himself. But like I said, I think I would change the back, change the base page and make it more of a brighter color, maybe an orange or a green. I think that would be really, really cute. Thank you so much for joining me on this special Halloween edition of Mom's Creative Moments. And I hope that all of your little monsters enjoy Halloween tomorrow and have a safe holiday. Until next time, I hope you have many more creative moments. Make it a great evening. Bye-bye.